our kids, the older they're getting, the more involved they are, the more questions they ask. They'll stop they'll stop the story and be like, "What's that?" Or "Why is Ralph doing this? Why is Laura? Why is she sad?" So they'll ask questions about it, and it's not only a good way for you to tie the family together with stories that you all know and love and can refer back to for the rest of your lives, but it's also a way for you to open up discussions about, other time periods, people of different means in different places in history, all that sort of stuff.
Welcome to Work Hard. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Hello, guys. This is the disclaimer for the show. We are not lawyers, pastors, healthcare professionals, or financial advisors.
And not representative of any body.
Not representative of anybody.
Except our own bodies.
Except our own bodies.
And that under Christ.
And that under, yeah. So take everything here said with the same grain of salt. I would say you should apply to pretty much every piece of information that you get, no matter where it comes from.
Correct.
Be a thinking human being.
Be a Berean, all right?
Be a Berean. Don't know what that means, but just don't watch. Oh, what was the second half of these disclaimers? Is usually don't watch this if you are not if you're a pearl. I don't want to be negative. If sometimes your teenage son says something and you go gasp, don't watch this.
Yeah, you will gasp.
You will gasp, and we will probably have to hear about it, which we don't want to. So don't watch it, please. Thank you. Bye. Hey, welcome to Work Hard.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Hey. Oh yeah, welcome back. We're doing the disclaimer at the beginning. That's right. Welcome back to Work Hard. Guys, big show today.
I was just saying welcome back after the week. And we're recording 2 days late, so you guys are not getting this on time.
Right,
sorry.
Yeah, that's true, guys. All right. It is a big week. Big show today. Big week, generally speaking. We're recording 2 days late. Apologize for that. I hope that Jason has time to get this out today. Probably not, but...
Not exported. The audio could get out today.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, then maybe the guys who listen to the audio can hear the audio.
Which is most people, really.
Okay, cool. Well, that makes me sad. But we spent all the time on this set. Why don't you guys want to see the set? Welcome to Work Hard. I am your host, Ethan. With me, Jason.
I'm Jason.
Today we are discussing rest and leisure. This is on the tip of my tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, because the reason we're recording 2 days late is because I took my ladies, my wife and 2 daughters, on a brief camping trip, and it was very fun and very restful and very leisurely. Although I did step on a rock and put a hole in my foot, which made packing up the campsite very unleisurely.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's right at the crown of the curve of your foot. So it's right where any shoe I'm going to wear is going to put the most pressure on the arch of my sole, or the arch of I guess it's the sole of your foot, whatever. It hurts. That's the point.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt today.
I'm very confused by that explanation, but
Okay, that's fine. Well, the anatomically speaking, it's painful.
okay.
And
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. Not medical advice. Now that's not medical advice. All right. I would not medically advise you to step on a rock and put a hole in your foot. And I was also,
he might medically advise you to kick rocks though.
I might.
He's been known to.
Yeah, I have been known to. So I was sprinting in the dark to play with these raccoons, and
as you do,
to make my daughter laugh. And I stepped on a rock and it hurt. And at first it didn't hurt at all. At first I was just like, oh, that got me. And then I was walking around that night. I was fine. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and my hip hurt.
Your hip hurt?
Yeah, like that's how much pain I was in. Like my whole
it was like radiating up to your hip.
Up my into
awesome.
my hip. Yeah.
Nerve pain.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so that was fun. But we're talking leisure and rest today. And then again, it's top of my mind because I was camping. And I do have a couple stories. Night one, right? We have a tent set up. My daughter's pumped about this tent.
They always are.
Pumped about the tent. Yeah. So excited about the tent. I don't put the moisture cover on it because it's not going to rain.
Right.
It's going to get cold, but dude's not going to be that bad, whatever. So I'm just like, whatever, we'll be fine. We're laying in it. We're looking up. My daughter and I are about to go to sleep. And my wife and our infant are sleeping in my truck. So that if my infant cries, it doesn't wake. Nobody wakes up. Now there's no one there. It's just us. Night one. Just us. And so we have this entire campsite to ourselves. It's overlooking this beautiful spring-fed lake that's like, dude, it's like 4 football fields big. It's huge. This huge lake. Not huge like in the grand scheme of how big lakes can get, obviously, but like for a campsite that's 30 minutes from my house, it's this insanely beautiful situation. The reeds growing up, this like emerald colored spring-fed lake. You can see through, like the water is transparent to like 6 or 7 feet.
Nice and clear. Really, really, really beautiful view that we have from this campsite. So we're laying there looking up at the trees, and my daughter is singing songs to herself. That's how she gets herself to sleep. But she sings little songs to herself. And so she's singing, she's pointing at the trees and she's going, the treetops, you can see them burst into flame. And they have and then you're in the tent. And the tent is safe. And like singing like that. Safe from the exploding trees.
Safe from the exploding trees.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful, so serene. I'm just eyes closed, listen to the night, listen to my daughter's little voice. And then I hear my wife go, "Oh, Ethan, holy shit." Ripped out of my reverie. And I go, what? And I unzip the tent and I come out and she's like, my wife is so like excited, panicked, whatever, that she can't even say what's there. So I look and I look over and I see there are 2 raccoons coming up to our campsite. Now to me, and to many of our listeners, that's nothing. You're camping, there's raccoons, it's part of it. But you got to remember, my wife is born in Chicago, was there for many years, and then moved to Austin and was there until she moved out here.
You don't want to mess with the city raccoons.
She just I don't know that she's ever even seen a raccoon in person. You know?
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't think she has. I know one time her dad interacted with a skunk, but that's all that I think that she's interacted with. And so, we got this poor city girl out in the country.
They're surprisingly big sometimes.
Dude. Yeah.
Adult male raccoons.
Let me get into the belly of this story, dude. So
I have some raccoon stories.
These little raccoons come up, and it's a mom that's like probably like 4 or 5 pounds, like a pretty good sized raccoon. And then there's like a baby raccoon, and this thing's like the size of my daughter's head. Like if it weighs a pound, I'd be shocked. Little tiny, like the cutest little thing I've ever seen. Little tiny tail.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And
they're
it's like
very cute.
hanging on to her. or like just like walking these little tiny steps right next to her, or like up in a tree, like hanging by its back feet, just like languishing, just like hanging off. It's just being the cutest little thing ever. And my daughter, to say loses her mind would be an injustice to her reaction.
Yeah.
Like she was, if she could
beyond delighted.
she would have actually physically come apart at the seams. Like
Yeah.
she was overstimulated. Like, you know, when you hit kids, I've done it to your boy, where I've like come down the driveway in my truck listening to music and hit him with the point and Boaz and yell at him, and he just melts down and just like starts like seizing up and just falls over like that. She hit one of those like overstimulated toddler and just like lost it. And so I get out and I'm fascinated because they're like totally unafraid of us.
Yeah.
So they're walking up and I'm like, I just got to see what this thing's going to do. Like, how close is it going to get to us? And she gets up within like 8 feet of me and walks up and tries to steal our marshmallows. And so I go, hey, get out of here. And she scurries away just just a little bit, small little scurry.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You play hard to get. All right.
Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, these raccoons are awesome. Like, these are just like little people. And, because usually when you see a raccoon, they're just gone. Like the second anytime I see a raccoon out here, it get into the trash, doing whatever. The moment I'm close enough to see it, out of here. It's just, it immediately runs.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've got this raccoon who's like chilling, and I'm like, dude, let's go. So I get the marshmallows. Like, this is what you want? You want a marshmallow? So I like sit down. I'm like, you have to come get it. And so I like hold the marshmallow out to it, and she just comes straight up, right up to me, takes it out of my hand and just walks away and eats it. And I was like, we're about to have so much fun. So I was like, Abigail, come here. And so she comes over, she's nervous. She's like, are they going to get me? And I said, no, they're not going to get you, baby. Come here. Just here, throw that marshmallow at them. So we're throwing marshmallows. We're handing them marshmallows, just us and this mommy and this baby raccoon. And we're chilling. Like, we befriend this raccoon. And so she's like up in the camp with us.
Yeah.
And so I'm managing her ability to get to the food, but she's just now camping with us. We just have a raccoon camping with us now, her and her child raccoon. And so eventually they eat enough food. We give them like a couple hot dogs, some marshmallows, some graham crackers, whatever. They eat enough. They get tired. They leave.
Yeah.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, there's like a 90% chance she's going to get the squad. And,
it's safe.
Yeah. I had no concept of how many raccoons were going to materialize. Dude, there were dozens of raccoons.
Oh, really?
Dozens. At one point so we're camping on the edge of the woods, like right on the edge of the woods. Our campsite, like what is considered like our campsite by the park, is the edge of the woods. So at one point you can just hear them. I mean, it sounds like the ground is moving. They're just all in there. And so I get Abigail, I'm like, come here. And so we sit down and I turn the flashlight and I just shine it into the woods, and you can see
just
easily
eyes.
a dozen eyes just looking back at us. And so she, of course, is like, she's fascinated, having a great time with the raccoons, but she's also terrified.
Yeah.
And so we try to go back to sleep in the tent, and she's just can't. She's just like, all these questions about, can the raccoons get in? How are they going to get in? Are you sure that they can't do this? It does. I think they can. I'm sure they can come in from the top. I'm sure they can come in from here. And so I'm like, all right.
Can they chew through the sides?
Yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, they definitely could.
Technically could.
Yeah.
But
they're not going to. And so I try to explain to her, like, honey, the raccoons, they're not interested in you. They just want the food. We put the food away. It's all fine. Everything's okay. She's not having any of it. So we got to move into this, like, we have this little shelter on our campsite. And it resembles a house enough for her to be like, I'm in a house now.
Okay.
And so we get inside the shelter.
More secure.
Yeah, it's more secure. We remake our pallet inside the shelter, abandon the tent. And she gets in and she goes, she walks in and she goes, okay, no panthers or bears or raccoons or dragons can get in here, right? And I was like, not at all. No, they cannot. And she goes, does it have a chimney? And I say, nope, it doesn't have a chimney. And then she goes, okay, because dragons are up high. And I was like,
and they could get in a chimney.
and they could get in a chimney because they're up high. I'm like, yeah, that is true, but there is no chimney here. And so she was like, okay, great. And then
one, if there was a chimney, and two, if dragons existed.
Right? Yeah.
Then yes,
Yes.
that would be a true
that
statement.
Would be a problem. We would have to be worried about the dragons getting the chimney. But then we endeavored to go through the 2-hour-long process of getting the most excited toddler in the world to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And she's just, it's just so much.
Goodness, yeah.
First camping trip where she's outside. We've taken her camping before, but she slept in a camper.
Okay.
In my grandparents' Airstream, or in my in-laws' Airstream. And so she would that was totally different. Now it's like, we're outside, whatever. So she's just enthralled. She's excited. She's scared of the raccoons. Everything's going on. And then the raccoons come up as we go in. Everybody's asleep. I'm asleep. We've got all the food in. The raccoons come up into our campsite proper.
Yeah.
And so you can just hear them out there. And they're snorting and fighting each other and like looking and stuff. And so Abigail's just like, this is the zombie apocalypse. Like, we're
going to get eaten by, eaten by raccoons.
Yeah. So I finally get her to sleep. All good. We go through our camping stuff the next day, swim, whatever. By the way, the state park we went to, I won't say what it is because I'm not going to dox myself, but it's 30 minutes from our house. For something like it's just East Texas to the core, which is that it's like, it's not the biggest, it's not the flashiest, it's not the best. There's no canyons or mountains or whatever, but it is super close to your house. It's not dirt cheap anymore because nothing is, but it's as close to dirt cheap as anything can be these days.
Yeah. As far as a vacation goes.
Yeah. As far as a vacation goes. And it is just good. It's just beautiful and good. And a great way to spend 2 days with your family.
Yeah, we're taking some hikes there in the woods. It's pretty. It's
very pretty, and there's a swimming place in the lake. They brought in like beach sand or whatever to make that like sandbank that goes out a little bit.
Cool.
So you can walk. It's like the water gets to like 6 feet deep, up to like, it's got to be like 25 feet away from the shoreline. And they built this really nice concrete thing, but it's like old school concrete from like the 80s or whatever. So it's got gravel in it and looks nice. It's very pretty. And it's just nice, man. It's just really good, relaxing, awesome. So the state park is fantastic. My wife has even started a small campaign to try to get the Brotherhood to have a camping event for all of us.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And so so we go through our camping stuff. It's fantastic. My daughter the whole time is going, can we live here forever? And I was like, well, baby, we do kind of technically live here forever. Like,
yeah.
We've always been here. We're 30 minutes away. It's not like we can come here whenever we want. And so that's awesome. Night 2. Oh, no, actually, I missed a step. Night 1, I have to go pee in the middle. No, I have to take a dump. Middle of the night, I got to take a dump. I got to walk across the campsite to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking across, and the whole time I can hear
raccoons following you.
So many raccoons following me. And I'd stop and turn around and shine my flashlight and look at them, and they all just
freeze
and just stare at me. And they're all just sitting there. Some of them are like this. So they stand on their back legs and do this. And and there's like a dozen of them. And then I just keep walking, and they all just right behind me. It's like a cartoon. And so that's when I like realize how many raccoons.
It sounds like we need to do an animated short about a family who gets overrun with raccoons at a campsite.
Yeah,
that would
really
be very
good.
fun.
Yeah. So next day, I'm now fully aware of the raccoon situation. Night 2. So night 2 comes in, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, all right, we're hanging out with raccoons, whatever.
So you ran to the store and got like 18 packs of bar-ass hot dogs.
Well, we had brought hot dogs to go fishing with,
okay.
And we had tried to go fishing, and I, gotten the hot dogs on our lines and got them in the water, whatever. And then I was biting hot dog off and spitting it into the water to like chum the water.
Yeah.
And the fish were just eating all of the hot dogs around our hooks.
Okay.
And not they probably just have been there for so long and have the adversity to like the adverse response to, they know what a hook is. Like they're not.
Gosh, they're the survivors.
Yeah. They're the survivors.
These are not newly stocked fish.
Yeah. Well, the state park restocks the lake every 2 weeks.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can fish and take the fish out you don't have to catch and release.
Yeah.
Because they go get new fish every week. So you can rent boat. I can go on and on about this place. It's awesome. So and I'm not a fish. Like if I was actually there with somebody who knew how to fish.
Yeah.
that I'm sure we would have caught fish. But we had Walmart fishing poles, and it was.
It
the
sounds
first
like you're
time-
about the same skill level I am with fishing.
Yeah, it was the first time I've been fishing since I was like 19.
Yeah, I tried with my kids last year. And
Yeah.
I was like, we didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
It was fun.
If we went out with my father-in-law, I'm sure we would have had gaggles of fish.
Yeah.
So we've got tons of hot dogs. So I'm like, all right, I'm equipped with the hot dogs. We got extra marshmallows. We got tons of graham crackers. We're playing with these raccoons. And while I'm getting ready to have a fun night with the raccoons, new campers pull up and have the spot next to us. Don't know why they chose that spot.
Right
next to us, but there's an entire field of campsites they could go with.
We don't want to be alone.
Yeah. So they get this campsite next to us. We're there. The raccoons start coming out. I am raccoon friend at this point. I'm one with the raccoons. Like I'm training them. We're figuring out.
I am their deity.
Yeah, we're doing dances. Like I'm the raccoon man. I'm for real. I'm like peeing in the woods. They're just walking up next to me, sitting down, just while I'm peeing, just looking at me, munching on a nut or something. Like they're totally not afraid of me.
Like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I don't care about them at all. I mean, I had a standing order for my wife to keep the baby away from them because I was like, They might go for a finger. I don't know what a raccoon will do to a human
They might
baby.
test.
Yeah. So I was like, just keep the baby away from them. But I had Abigail. We were just having a great time with the raccoons. And so this new family comes up and they are not about the raccoons.
I bet they're not.
Very funny. They're really upset that the raccoons are there. And so I have us like cheat down the hill a little bit where they can't quite see us. So I'm like, all right, Abigail, the people are going to get mad
feed
if
them
they
over
see
here.
us feeding them. And so we're like hiding, feeding these raccoons. And
they're like, I'm pretty sure they're on the other side of that hill feeding raccoons.
yeah.
There's a lot of raccoons heading over there.
Yeah. And so the raccoons start to work their way up. There become so many raccoons that we just can't feed them all. And
Yeah.
so the laggers, the late
There
birds-
went $200 in marshmallows and graham crackers.
yeah. A whole box of graham crackers just deleted. And so the raccoons start to cheat their way up around our campsite, up into their campsite.
Uh-huh.
And, which is, you can hear every night, you can hear that's happening over the entire park.
Right.
Because you can hear the voice of all the dads playing across the lake as they're going, "Ooh, get out of here." Ah! There's like a dozen dads across the entire park, like smacking wood together. You can hear it every night.
Chasing raccoons off.
And we're just like, feed them. It's fun. And so, I don't feel guilty at all because I'm like, everybody's dealing with this problem. So we're the only ones who know how to have fun with it. So, so the raccoons start going up to their side, and it's a family of 4, dad, mom, 2 sons, and the sons are like, gotta be like 12 and like 15 or 16. Like they're older kids.
Okay.
And so I'm like looking up, watching them interact with the raccoons.
Yeah.
And anytime they see a single raccoon, they're like, emergency, clocks and alarm goes off, deploy the weapons. Like the dad gets up and starts being like, "Hey, get out of here," like real aggressive. And the older son goes with him and it's like trying to help him, whatever. And the mom will grab the 12-year-old son and like pull him behind her to like protect him from the raccoons.
Oh, that poor 12-year-old.
I know, it was bad. And yeah, they looked like
You'll never survive a raccoon attack,
I
son.
know. Yeah, you can't do it. And
stand behind mommy.
Yeah, stand behind your mom. Yeah.
As you enter manhood.
Yeah.
As you go through puberty.
Yeah. I went.
That's
to bed
a good
thinking,
message.
Yeah. For real, I was thinking about them as I was going to bed, being like, dude, I would have my 13-year-old, 12-year-old son being like, I will kill infinity raccoons. Like, I'm not scared of a raccoon.
Yeah, get behind me, mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I will get my legs chewed off first.
Yeah. Yeah. I can crush a raccoon's skull in my hand. I'm not scared of a raccoon.
Yeah.
And so she's like, but it was very funny to me. My wife was even giggling a little bit looking at the juxtaposition because we had our 3-year-old surrounded by raccoons just standing in her underwear, like handing them hot dogs with her hand. And they won't even let their 12-year-old anywhere, like within 8 feet of one of these things. And of course the raccoons are there's like you could identify which little clans by the like number and size that each individual raccoon was.
Okay.
So we got very good at being like, oh, that's the rowdy group of raccoons. This is the like nice group. And then the mom and the baby came back and hung out with us. And so I was very like, nah, this rabble bunch, I'm not about this rabble bunch. They fight too much. I don't like them. I don't want anywhere close. So anytime they would come out, I'd like kick them and be like, get out of here. And all the nice raccoons could stay. And then there was this, dude, there was a
Sounds like you were like Jane Goodall with the raccoons.
yeah.
Jake Goodall of the raccoons.
Jake Goodall of raccoons. Yeah. Yeah, I was managing which raccoons.
There's a title.
So these raccoons they were awesome. And then there was this big hoss, the captain of the bunch, dude. He was like, bro, he was huge. He had to be like 20 pounds. I guess he probably wasn't 20 pounds because they're so fluffy. They seem
right.
way bigger.
And they
than
can bristle
actually are.
up too when they fluff out.
Yeah.
Look huge. And
Bro.
they arch their back. Dude, if they're angry,
Yeah.
they are scary when they're angry because
Yeah.
they just get that weird.
They get a very cat-like kind of like.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
they're like running across somewhere, they are kind of cat-like in the darkness. If you see them like in a city or whatever,
Yeah.
you see one and you're like, was that a cat? But it's a really ghoulish looking cat because the back is too high.
Yeah.
You're just
yeah.
like, ugh!
They're
Oh, until you
lanky.
realize it's a, yeah,
Yeah.
they are freaky that way.
Yeah. But there was this
So there's two sides to a raccoon, I will say.
these raccoons were all very,
Well, these ones have been tamed from just being
They-
around campers all the time and
Yeah.
chilling.
yeah.
But like a mean raccoon is a nasty
A
thing.
nasty little thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not good for chickens.
Oh no. Yeah.
We
that-
lost like 20. We're not terribly fond of chickens on my property.
We've lost chickens to raccoons too. But this
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about raccoons.
big chillin' was the dude. Like he walked out of the wood. First of all, it sounds like a human being is walking in the woods when he's walking up, and the raccoons part like the ocean when he comes out, and he rolls by himself.
Yeah.
So I saw him several times both nights throughout the camp. So I'd like walk somewhere to get something or like go to the bathroom again, and he'd just be off by himself. He had no other raccoons with him, which was the only one, and he'd walk out, all the raccoons part like the ocean, and he just walks up, grabs a hot dog, walks off with it, and he's not, everyone else is like scurrying,
Yeah,
all the other
and
raccoons
he's just
are
waddling.
scurrying. He's just straight up just sauntering around,
Swaggering,
swaggering,
maybe.
dude. Just he's
If a raccoon can
in
swagger.
charge. Yeah, dude, he's in charge. And I was like, that is my raccoon. That's my boy right there. Like this raccoon is the man, dude. And I could not get him to like hang out. He would just come up,
Get
take
some
a
food
hot
and
dog,
take
then
off.
dip. Yeah. And
He's
bro,
like, nope.
he was big. He was the man. He was obviously in charge.
Yeah.
And no raccoon would,
King Coon.
dude, they wouldn't even like look at him. It was like
They would like avert their eyes.
yeah, I mean they'd be like they'd all the bellies and like
Yeah. Oh,
submission like
don't beat me.
no one messed with this raccoon. And so it was just cool. It was very fun to have it would have been fun in and of itself, even if I was just like there with guys or whatever. It would have been fun, but to have my daughter there made it a million times better because it just everything they did. She was like, Daddy, they're doing that. Oh, look, they got it from my hand. Like just
Yeah.
and she never got bored. And it was just like you had to claw her away from feeding the raccoons. And then we get her in bed and she go, do you think they've had enough food? And you go, yeah, honey, I'm sure they've had it. And I try to explain to her, honey, they'll eat as much food as we give them. We don't have enough food. And she'd be like, they just must not have any food at their houses. And I go,
No, this is just easier and sweeter.
yeah, I'm good. Well, raccoons, they're not like, they don't work very hard. They just kind of like to steal everybody else's stuff. And so she was just like, today she came into today to tell my parents about it. And she was like, the raccoons, they didn't have any food at home. So we would give them our food so that they could go home and have food for them to eat at their house. So it made it really fantastic. The whole experience of the raccoons was like exemplified or whatever, magnified
By having your daughter there.
yeah, by like 10x, an
That
order
wonder.
of magnitude better
Yeah.
because my daughter was there. And it was very, very funny watching the other family, these like clearly harmless animals who are not like, Emily at first was like, they might have rabies. And I was like, look at this thing. Does this appear to have an animal that has rabies? It's petting me. It doesn't have rabies. It's just, it's clean. She's like, they're nasty. I was like, they're raccoons. Raccoons are pretty clean.
I think they do have
raccoon,
actually. Well, yeah, I think they are surprisingly dirty for how clean a reputation they have. At least
Really?
the meat. Yeah,
thought
I
it
think you have to cook the meat pretty thoroughly, and I
thought
think
it
they
was
carry
I
a
thought
lot
they
of.
were like possums, where everybody thought they're super dirty, but possums are like mad clean.
I thought I heard the opposite, that raccoons are actually. Well, this is more recent that I heard this.
Okay, well, maybe
Is
I
that-
exposed my family to some sort of plague. But I thought they were like possums are supposed to be like one of the cleanest animals. Like,
Well, I imagine you weren't petting them and then sticking your hand in your mouth.
I mean, we were very rarely actually touching them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
Yeah, we were touching, like, we'd come into contact with like their fingers as they pulled.
Right, as they fold. But
Yeah.
then again, you weren't also being like.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so that was great. Lots of fun. And very leisurely, all right, very restful. All right. And that's kind of the thrust of the point that I want that story to make to you is that people have this idea that kids are this great burden and that you are going to once the kid comes, your life is altered permanently and your personal life has now been destroyed. Your ability to do things you want to do or have a good time or whatever is destroyed. And you're not going to get to rest again until you're 18, until your kid's 18 years old. And
Finally get a break.
yeah, you finally get a break. And that
You get on with your life, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can get on with your life. And that I just think is completely
Backwards.
It's so untrue. You have remember when you were 6 and everything you did was awesome and cool and fun, and how you like the most fun you have now as an adult is when you experience nostalgia for the things that you used to do that were cool and fun. Imagine that happening to you all over again for each individual child. So as each individual child, you get to show them all the cool stuff that you got to do as a kid, and they get to experience it. And the joy, it's better. It's cooler. Like if you really loved fishing with your dad, if you thought that was sick when you were a little kid and that was like your favorite thing, you are going to think that that was the wackest, lamest thing in comparison to you fishing with your son. It's so much cooler. Like getting to watch movies that I liked as a kid with my daughter is so much better than watching that movie that I liked as a kid. It's infinitely more entertaining. It magnifies it in every way. And that makes your interests shift. Like, the thing that I would say is most observable is that you have young guys who are having kids and they clearly have apprehensions like I had when I had our first daughter.
Sure.
I had fears, that
Of course.
I love drinking on a Friday night and playing video games. I'm never going to be able to do that again. I have a kid now, whatever. You have the kid. Drinking on Friday night just seems retarded because you have the kid now. Why would you even care about going to drink on a Friday night? I have the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play with the kid. I don't need, it's stupid, And so like these moments where it's like, oh, there's so much work, whatever, blah, blah. That's not that true. Now, that being said, there are, very large percentages of your time that you spend with the child that are taking care of them and that are work. But the leisure and rest that's possible is infinitely deeper when you have a child. Like going camping, I've always liked camping because it is a really great excuse to get away from screens. And if you've been a long time listener to this show, I'm a big screen guy. I love screens, big video game guy, big computer guy, love me some screens. But they're exhausting to stare at. And as I get older, that's gotten worse and worse. I can look at a screen for less and less time before I'm just completely tapped. And so camping has been a really fantastic way to unplug and rest. I feel the best I've felt in months now after just a couple days of camping.
Yeah, I was gonna say this may be the first time in months where I asked you how you were doing, and you're like, "Good, really good."
Yeah.
Our listeners know that.
Yeah.
But every time I'm sick.
I'm sick. I'm
I'm
tired.
terrible. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. And a lot of that was due to having to
Got out in creation and interacted with some critters with your daughter.
Yeah, and camping is just magnified a million times over when you have a 3-year-old with you, who's just infinitely fascinated by every aspect of what you can't hike. You want to go on a hike? Too bad, because every 7 feet,
Something is interesting.
Something is cool. And you're not going to be like, I wish we could camp. You're going to be like, oh yeah. And you're going to get down with them and be like, and then it does this, and and then in 6 months it'll look this way. And it makes hiking so much cooler.
Yeah, I heard it said it was one of the Moscow crowd, I think, that was admonishing parents, and they were especially saying mothers who are freaked out by creepy crawlies and insects and all these things. It's like, do your best. Like, that is still part of God's creation.
Yeah.
And your kid shows wonder at it.
Yeah.
And that's the proper attitude towards it. Sure, you don't need to have it in your bed or in the house necessarily.
Yeah.
But don't go, get that away from me. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, it's God's creation.
Yeah.
And I won't be on such a high horse that I won't say there's some insects that I hate.
Right.
There's these weird walking stick kind of insects around here that are like 3 inches long.
You don't like the walking sticks?
Now they have a weird milky stuff they're just all over something. So sometimes they get in my way, and they're just the way they move. Something about them gives me the willies a little bit, like other insects don't.
It's kind of what you look like, so I wonder if there's...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just repulsed by myself.
Just kidding.
But they're always mating. There's always a little male one attached to them.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they get like they don't move easily, and so you have to like brush them off.
Yeah.
And every time I pick them up or whatever, they're easily squished, and so they have like I don't know if it's blood or if it's I don't know if it's their insides, the white stuff, or if it's whatever.
Yes.
I do struggle with those.
Yeah.
But in general, they are still fascinating if you were to just study them.
Yeah.
The point is, don't tell your kids that creation is revolting.
Yeah.
Don't teach them to be afraid of everything that is outside.
Yeah.
Have a wary, be wise around creatures. I can't say that I would have had a crowd of raccoons necessarily around my kids, but the fascination with creatures in general and insects and whatnot. Boaz brought a toad into the house the other day, and it got away from him.
Oh no!
Yeah. Mom, look at this! Boing! It like leaped out of his hand and started making for underneath the stove, where of course we would never have gotten it out.
No.
Then we would have had dead stinky toad in the house.
Yep.
Yeah. We get a cricket every once in a while on the walls.
Oh, dude, being in the country, cricket in the walls is like nightly. Cricket in the walls,
just how it is.
In the laundry, all the time. Dude, Abigail once, unfortunately, had to witness a pretty large toad get deleted by my dog. She was like, look, a toad. It was like a TV show. Look, a toad. Wow, it's just gone. Dude. It's completely.
It's like, oh no.
It's like, what did Bones just do to it? Like,
everything.
Yeah. Well, I promise you he didn't feel it. That was fast.
Yeah, that was fast. That toad didn't know what hit him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's definitely true. You don't want to teach your kids to be scared of whatever, but I think kind of the spirit, I think, of what we're getting at is that although family, having kids, that kind of stuff can be really a tremendous responsibility. It is on the inverse a portal to rest that you've really never experienced previously. It's really hard to even articulate how relaxing it is to just sit by a fire in a lawn chair and watch your daughter just pick up pine needles, just talking to herself in her little voice and just being like,
I will never get tired of the little monologues.
Yeah.
If you can catch them when they don't know you're listening or watching,
yes.
is just the best.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall to see all the stuff they do that can't be a part of, just because they would immediately be like, "Hey, Dad."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little, if you poke your head around the corner of my house, there's a little stairway down into the girls' room and their playroom and stuff. And you can kind of poke your head around the corner from the living room and you can see down into the playroom.
Yeah.
And very often, if you hear my daughter talking or whatever in the kitchen, my wife will work her way up and just kind of sneak and look and watch her. She'll just be in there.
Do her things.
Yeah. And she just, all of her games, it was very funny. All of her games end up being a version of whatever my wife was doing that day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like every game is like I play baby, I play kitchen, I play grocery store, I play shopping, I play whatever, all that. It's either that or she'll want to play Simba, or like she'll want to play like Kiki's Delivery Service, or she'll want to play her Aunt Erin because my sister's name is Erin. And all of those games, Annie, all these games, they're just she is either sick or dead, laying on the bed, sick or dead.
She as the main character,
as the
right?
main character, as Simba, as Annie, as Kiki, as my sister, or whatever.
Yeah.
She's sick or dead in some manner of unwellness. And one of the main supporting characters, Mufasa, Daddy Warbucks, somebody,
Whoever
is just like rubbing her back going, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Whatever. And we have to do that for 10 minutes. So those are the two kind of games that she plays is I'm sick and I want you to rub my back. Or I'm going to do whatever my mom was doing today. And she went to playgroup recently, and some of the gentlemen, the real young boys from our church were there, and they were playing boys games like swords and stuff.
Yeah.
She came back and said, Daddy, boys are boring. And I was like, what do you mean? Why are they boring? She says, they're boring because she doesn't say any of her ing. She says boring.
Boring.
They're boring. She says boring. She says something instead of something. Something. Pancakes instead of pancakes. And she goes, the boys are boring because they never play any of the good fun games. They only play boring games like swords. And I was like, oh yeah, they don't play any fun games like baby or doctor or shopping, huh? And she goes, no, they don't play any of the fun games like baby. And I was like, yeah, that's terribly boring. And that's it. That's all she wants to ever play is,
yeah,
I'm a mommy and I'm doing mommy things, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't even remember how we got on that, but that is.
That's what on Sunday, one of the things we did, speaking of playing with kids, I haven't done this in a while. Actually, this was maybe the first time we really did kind of a wide-ranging game with my 3 older kids. Well, the youngest was there too. Not really participating so much. She just wants to be held by me.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's wrestling going on or whatever, she gets a bit freaked out.
Yeah.
And she'll just want me to hold her while I'm wrestling and fighting with the other ones. So I'll just be trying to hold her and like push other kids and deflect people who are flying at me and like flying kick tackles and whatnot. Just like narrowly avoiding getting killed. Just mostly trying to protect the 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But they found some sort of quartz rock or whatever. They had knocked off a piece of this quartz rock that they were calling a diamond.
Ah, yes.
And the object of the game was for your team to control the diamond and get it from the other team or to hide it from them.
Yeah.
Right. And so we've got the deck, right?
Yep.
Of the that was kind of a fortress.
Yes.
Of the office that we're building out there on my property. And so like I established that as my fortress at one point and we would defend it. Took my, middle child as a prisoner at one point to try to negotiate for the diamond.
Yeah.
While the eldest tried to free her.
Yeah.
Using, sticks and PVC pipe as like swords and bow staffs and whatnot.
Excellent.
They would like hide the diamond and try to lie about where it was, and I would sneak around in the bushes and try to surprise them and whatnot. At one point, I had the diamond. I had gotten away from them, and I was coming back through the brush, and the 2-year-old was crying and wanted me, and so I was kind of forced to come out and help her. And they were like, "All right, you can't have her unless you." I was like, "All right, I'll give you the diamond if you give me the baby."
Yeah.
And they're like, no, the diamond first. So they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you have to hand over the diamond first. I was like, no, you have to give me I have to hold her first or no deal. You can't have the diamond. They're like, okay, fine. But they like blocked my way.
Yeah.
And so I picked her up, and the one who was right in front of me, my middle daughter, looked to the side for a second, and so I just took off running with the diamond and the baby.
Yeah.
I was like, ah! Like running up the hill in my flip-flops.
Yes.
And they're like, ah! Just infuriated. Betrayal.
Oh, man, that's
Dude.
good.
It was the best.
Oh, that's good.
And they've been just begging all week to go out after dinner and play like that game again. Because
Yeah.
we had a second rendition of it on Tuesday, I think, where my boy was off doing karate, but the girls were home, and so they wanted to play another round of this game. And I snuck all the way around, like in my flip-flop and shorts, through the back 40 and the brambles and everything, and snuck through the woods. I was like, yeah, I'll be out in a minute. Like, I was in the house, and then I closed the door and snuck out the house to where they didn't know I'd left the house, and snuck, like, all the way up to the top of the hill before they spotted me. And they're like, there he is!
Dude, I know the exact, like, dude, it's so much
fun. It's so much fun.
Oh.
Sneaking up on your kids and just being the boogeyman or the big bad guy.
Yeah.
It's the best game.
Yes, dude.
Whatever iteration you're playing.
Yeah.
And they'd like hid the diamond and whatnot. And then I had gotten a hold of the diamond at some point and was trying to pretend like I'd thrown it away. At one point I like bent down in the wrestling because they're holding on to me. They had just a death grip on my shirt, so I could not get away without hurting somebody.
Yeah.
So I like bent down and got a rock and like threw the rock with the same hand, but held onto the diamond and kind of psyched him out for a second, but they didn't let go of the shirt, so I still couldn't get away.
Smart kids, dude. They wise your tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. And if you think that like, if you think you're going to have that kind of episode and not walk away from it feeling fantastic, like just.
It was one of the most restful Sundays.
Oh, dude. Yes. It's so nice.
I'd had in a long time.
Yeah. And we got home last night. I was like, we're not cooking. We're not worrying about dinner, whatever. We'll go out. We went and got burgers, came back home, put the girls to bed. My wife and I were able to maintain consciousness for about an hour after the kids went to bed, and we were like, all right, we're done. And then I slept for 11 hours.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was serene.
That was last night?
Yeah, that was
nice.
Last night. Yeah.
No wonder you're feeling good today.
Dude, I feel fantastic. And it's this is every time I take this kind of trip, a couple days away with the family, I always feel like this after coming back. Which is why, like, I think that this is like really one of the distinctions I think I want to make here, because it's a distinction I've had to start to make. And one of the topics I kind of wanted to at least cover in this episode was the distinction between leisure and rest.
Okay.
So for years, I've loved, my main hobby has been playing video games and lifting weights. Those have been my two things that I've loved for years. And they have been, they've worked very well as leisure activities through my 20s, because you can get away, whatever, play video games with my friends, have alone time, just with my headphones, listen to whatever I want while I'm lifting for 45 minutes every other day, whatever. And they've been fantastic to go and kind of get my own time and be a dude and blow off steam, whatever, which is very necessary. And I'm not besmirching that at all. But one of the things I've had to come to terms with over the past probably 4 years is that those activities are actually not that restful. And I think this year in particular has been the kind of real, like, you have to accept that, like, you work as even with hyper premium, I'm still staring at screens all day.
Yeah.
I write all day. If I'm a sales guy, I'm writing emails, I'm on the phone, whatever, I'm still primarily computer, whatever. And so I can't need rest, can't be exhausted at the end of the day or whatever, at a couple hours during the weekend or whatever. I can't then need rest and go, I'm going to look at screens some more and play video games. It's not restful. It's the thing that's making me tired is staring at a flashing LED screen.
Yeah.
Is I'm just going to get more exhausted. And so I think it's very important for guys to accept the fact that as you get older and and your body can kind of compensate for the issues that you face day to day less and less, you are going to have to make a clear distinction between rest and leisure. And for years, I had this problem because video games are so fun, and I've always thought they were so fun, and it's really difficult for me to have fun doing something if there's not some like objective.
Yeah.
And
you mean something to accomplish in real life?
Right. Yeah. And so like, even with the video games, there's always been this thought, and it's kind of materializing now in that, like, where the streams are coming back, by the way, little announcement here. The video game streams on Rumble will be coming back next week, starting Thursday. I'll probably do some trial run streams this week or this coming week to kind of figure everything out, make sure everything's formatted correctly. But, so tune in for those. We'll be streaming all day Thursday, and then I'll come up with the schedule the next week after that, but just tune in for those. I've always known that video games were going to have some practical impact on my life. And so being good at video games was not a bad idea. So I've always kind of just had that in the back of in my gut. And so it's always been something I can just do, because I know that, like, if I get good at this,
that it wasn't pure entertainment.
Right. It's not pure entertainment.
And pure time killing.
Right. And so it's like with camping, I've been a little apprehensive about it because I'm not like super entertained while I'm camping. And I say that in air quotes for the listeners, because there's no goal. You're just there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that I've kind of established in my mind is hunting. And so I went and got a hunting rifle and got to zero it in and do some hunting this winter, kill hogs. And that'll be a great source of hogs, or will be a fantastic source of really wild hog meat. Wild boar meat is very good for you. Very, very dense in nutrients, very low in bad fats. It's very good protein. And so that gives me like a goal, like an objective.
Right. So it's an objective. It's not just a hobby that's going to suck money and time.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to pay.
That is the only reason I would go hunting, is for that reason.
Right. I'm going to pay for my rifle after I kill the first hog, because I'm going to have,
like, how many pounds of meat?
Yeah. Going into next year,
right.
We're going to cut down for that. So it's just like, so my advice is to kind of, try to, most of this stuff that I think we talk about, generally speaking, you kind of have to go through as a young man, no matter what people tell you. But I would still say that, like, if you have a hobby that is like, entertaining, you really need to make sure that hobby is going to be restful moving forward. Like, the guys that I know who like working on cars, that's their hobby, whether they want to admit that or not. It does not appear restful for them in any way. They seem pretty angry about it most of the time. Even if it's like a cool project car, they're always like, you go online, whatever. Cause I've got my truck, which is that's like an enthusiast's kind of car, a little bit, not particularly, but there's a lot of enthusiasm around it and people talking about it or whatever. So I go to find things and figure stuff out. And I've got other cars that I want to buy in the future that are enthusiast cars that are like just toys. And anytime you go on any forum, you have any interaction with guys
who are really into that vehicle,
into cars, it's like one sentence of like, man, what a great car. I sure love this thing. And then it's a paragraph of like, this piece of shit, it's cost me $5,000. It just never, it never ends for these poor guys. And so, like, I would be really, really intense with your evaluation of whether or not what you're doing is actually restful for you. So, like, what are you doing for the 2 hours that your wife affords you, that your wife is like, yeah, sure, I'll take the kids, whatever, for on a Saturday afternoon or whatever? Is it actually, are you getting done with that event and coming back into the house and feeling rested? At the end of the day, when the kids are in bed and you and your wife are, sitting, chilling in the living room, whatever it is, taking your time to rest from the end of the day, are you looking at your phone? Are you just scrolling Instagram? And if you are you really resting? Do you feel rejuvenated after having a little box
getting
go,
off the
right in your face for an hour and a half at the end of the day. Is that really rejuvenating? And my advice is not to, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. And you need to not look at your phone less. And you need to do, my advice is not to introduce a void into your life. That is not my advice, right? As I'm trying to step
voids
away,
are bad, and they are usually filled by something worse.
Or you start to get pathological with the thing you're trying to avoid.
Right. But if you can find a replacement,
right, replacing
that scratches the itch properly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like at the end of the day, dude, I would suggest starting to read, and
I know we're not doing couch cushions anymore, but I do have 2 recommendations inspired, which I told you about before the show, inspired by your raccoon stories.
Yes. Yeah.
So if anyone is the least bit intrigued by raccoons after Ethan's epic adventure at the state park, these are for you. Go ahead though.
And with reading, I think reading is one of these in modernity, at least in our current social order, reading seems to have a lot of like, you should, this is what should be, intellectualism. There's a lot of like, ideas around reading being this special thing that's like, you need to be reading and reading good books and fancy, thoughtful self-improvement things or what, just get rid of that, man. If at the end of the day, the thing you're going to be looking forward, you're at work, you're typing whatever, and you're thinking about the book, that's your goal, right? The goal is that while you're at work, you're thinking about this hobby, this restful hobby you can do.
Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to doing it.
The reward at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you have to read graphic novels in order to get that, if for real you have to look at adult picture books, fine. Who cares?
Yeah, don't knock Doug Tennaple.
I know. I'm not. I'm saying it great. Like, go for it. And you will, like, the more like I was a huge reader. I would destroy books, like all through high school, early college. Like I would take a tome, like 1,000-page book, and demolish it in like 3 days. And that fell off a lot as I became an adult and life became more intense and I just had less time to do that.
Right.
And so I've always had this, for like the past 8 years, had this sense of like, oh, dude, you used to read so much. Now you don't read, you got to read more, whatever, blah, blah. And then I would try to sit down and be like, well, I'm going to read Crime and Punishment.
And Moby Dick.
And whatever the Calvinist book is. What's Calvin's book? The Pillars of Christian Religion the Institutes.
Okay.
Calvin's
Institutes.
Calvin's Institute of the Christian Religion. I'm going to read that. That's what I'm going to read in my leisure time for 2 hours at the end of the day. And then guess what? Oh, I'd never read for 8 years. Who would have thought? As soon as I've talked about this on the show weeks ago, as soon as I was like, dude, whatever, I'm reading something stupid. And I got the Halo books. Every night after that, I was like, bam, reading Halo books. Yeah. And looking forward to it during the day, waiting for the kids to go to bed. So I'm going to crack the Halo book. And weeks later, now I'm on Asimov. Right, I'm rereading the Foundation series.
So you got back into it.
Yeah, and that's literature.
Greased up the gears and knocked the rust off. And
yeah. Isaac Asimov is a literary science fiction writer. It's good stuff. That's art. That is high quality, good stuff. That's redeeming and edifying for you. And so reading that stuff is fantastic, but you can't just, you got to work your way into that, and it will happen naturally. Like reading the Halo series made me be like, oh dude, sci-fi is so good. I want to read some
reading
more,
Star Wars short stories.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I love there's like a bounty hunter novel that just has 5 different stories of all the bounty hunters that you see on the deck that Darth Vader is tasking with finding Han Solo.
Tight. Yeah.
And it is like IG-88, the robot, his origin story and whatnot. So it just goes through each of these like 5 bounty hunters and their quest for trying to find Han Solo and a lot of their backstory. Whereas in the movie, all you saw was just them standing in a row.
Right.
And so it just fleshes out each one of them. Not high quality literature.
No.
Not high level stuff, but super fun.
Yeah.
As like a teenager, loved it.
Yeah, super fun. And it's going to be way more.
And it'll whet your appetite. And then eventually you go, this is a little bit more basic, and I'll move on and upgrade a couple grade levels, you know?
Yeah, and you'll get better at reading. People don't realize that it's a skill. You will get one of the things I haven't read out loud in forever. Now I can read really fast if I'm reading in my head.
A lot different out loud.
Yeah, but I was trying to read out loud to my daughter at the campsite, and I was like, and then he said, when I was like, what, who is this? Like, I used to be able to read out loud perfectly.
Yeah.
Read like an 8th grader out loud. And so you'll get better at reading, and reading is always going to be, it's going to be better than staring at a screen. I don't think if you're now, here's a caveat to this. If you are a mechanic, if you're a plumber or whatever, and you're spending all day, not looking at a screen at work, watch TV when you get home. Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. But if you are, I don't know, Jason's giving me slanted eyes. He was a guy that works with his hands, so maybe he has some better insight on that.
I don't know. Just with the TV thing, it's less interactive. If you have a family and you're doing family things,
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
instead of just by yourself,
Yeah.
and there's also the whole thing about watching screens in the evening, you know, blue light making it harder for you to sleep.
Sure.
You might not actually be helping yourself get to rest
That's true.
as much.
That's true.
And there's so little TV that is as edifying as books. And you're not developing a skill. You're being more of a consumer. You're not exercising your imagination as much, because with the book, you have to picture everything that they're describing to you.
Yeah.
And so you're working different parts of your brain than you are when you're just being spoon-fed everything.
Which that will also get better, by the way. The picturing everything while you're
Right.
like that. Yeah.
One thing that was tricky for me in sci-fi reading Robert Heinlein when I was young was him describing things, but not describing it in detail. He would just describe in one particular book, The Puppet Masters. He just said, yeah, I took out my burner and like I burned him off at the waist or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he gives no description as to what this technology is. It's clearly some sort of weapon or gun is what you gather.
Yeah.
And that it maybe shoots some sort of heat ray, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's it. So you have to fill in all the blanks as to what this scene looked like.
Oh, interesting. I always liked that. That's one of the things I've struggled with Tolkien. Is
the
that
over
I
description?
don't like that. I like my brain, just letting my brain run with what it all looks like.
Yeah.
Because I'll straight up hallucinate. I'll sit there.
No, I think I would just get hung up sometimes on the details, because he would just say, he'd call it a burner. And you're like,
what's a burner?
what's a burner? And
Yeah.
so I have to think through that a little bit. But that's not a problem.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying that was a hump I had to get over with
as a reader.
As a reader.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a problem or a bad writing style on his part. He didn't get bogged down in trying to describe a futuristic sci-fi society in its totality.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of technologies that are going to have parallels to what we have now. But as far as like their cars were able to drive and fly,
Yeah.
and so you would like take off from the street or whatever, no description of what kind of system they used or the technology that enabled them to fly or anything like that, the rules, whatever.
Yeah.
He just kind of says, he talks as if you are in that world and you would understand all the things he's saying to you.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah.
So TV's not doing that for you, especially TV today, because they are writing it for dumb audiences who do not have an imagination, and for people who are scrolling on their phones at the same time. So they're writing it so that you can follow plot points.
Yeah. Holy smokes. Don't
Anyway.
do that. Yeah.
So I'm going to get to my 2 book
Yes,
recommendations,
please do.
though, because one of the things that we do, my family's overall favorite thing, and my wife keeps on telling me, she goes, I am so happy that we do this because I love it. I grew up with this. My parents, my dad would read out loud. My mom would read out loud. Sometimes they would switch off. They would read through a novel out loud, like a chapter after dinner at the table or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Laura Ingalls Wilder is a great series. Narnia is a great series for those. Both go really well with young kids. My boy will still kind of wander and play, but he'll catch bits of it, even if he's in the other room. And we don't force them to sit down and like, now we're going to sit and read and you have to be quiet. I don't think that works as well when you have a widespread number of kids. we'll just end up reading it again in 5 years. And those old, they'll get something new out of it. The older ones will go, oh yeah, I love this story. I'm eager to hear it again.
Yeah.
And the younger ones were like, oh, I was so busy playing, I picked up very few details. I know who Ralph was, but I don't remember anything else about the book series.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're reading through the Ralph Moody books right now. We're on the second to last one, and I'm reading it like a chapter at lunch and a chapter at dinner, maybe another chapter before bed. Like, I'm trying to read as much as possible because all of us, my wife and I especially, and the two older girls are just like, what happens next?
Yeah.
Anyway, the 2 book recommendations based off the Raccoons story or inspired by. One is a true telling by the author of his childhood when he owned a raccoon. So he and his buddy were like off hunting or something like that, and they came upon a nest. I don't remember if they shot the mother or if they just found the 2 babies or whatever, but they found 2 baby raccoons, and he kept one.
Yeah.
And so he raised it, named it Rascal, and it's all about the joys and hazards of raising a raccoon in rural country where raccoons are thieves.
Yeah.
And they're very mischievous and funny and clever.
Yes.
And very personal. They're very emotional.
Yeah.
It's a very good book. So that's Rascal by Sterling North is the author's name. The other one I just read a number of months ago, and that is called Kildee House. That's spelled Kildee, Kildee House, by Rutherford Montgomery. And that's the story of a man who's like a stone worker who retires. He was never good with people, so he just kind of wants to be alone. Buys some acreage in the redwoods in California, I believe. Builds a tiny like one-room house that is up against a redwood tree, so his back wall is redwood tree. And he builds like a nice big fireplace because he's a stone guy, and then doesn't want to do any more stonework and just chills and eats good food and, smokes his pipe and enjoys the outdoors. But his house, he makes friends with a family of raccoons who end up multiplying. He has some striped skunks who move in and they multiply. And there's a feud between a couple of neighbor kids that he is in the middle of because he wants to be friends with both of them. So there's all this drama relating to animals and small time country people feuds.
Yeah.
The illustrations are also in that book are done by Barbara Cooney, who I'm sure I've mentioned her books before. She did Rocks a Box and a bunch of other books that we have. And I think it's termed American folk art. I think that's her style. So she illustrated tons of books, and they're beautiful illustrations. Anyway, go check those out. Read them out loud to your family. Your kids will love them. Don't be ironclad in making them sit down. Let them play on the floor. Let them look at their own books. Read. And don't get discouraged. If they don't sit down for a whole chapter, read a few paragraphs, and then I think they will eventually increase the amount that they can listen to and the amount that they can follow the story. But our kids, the older they're getting, the more involved they are, the more questions they ask. They'll stop the story and be like, "What's that?" Or "Why is Ralph doing this? Why is Laura? Why is she sad?" So they'll ask questions about it, and it's not only a good way for you to tie the family together with stories that you all know and love and can refer back to for the rest of your lives, but it's also a way for you to open up discussions about, other time periods, people of different means in different places in history, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good. Reading is a very powerful tool. I think that's probably a reason why God made the Bible written and in a book that you read.
Eventually,
yeah. And so I wouldn't.
For more than half of human history, it wasn't. But
right. Well, that share of time will decrease more and more and more.
Yeah, we'll see how much of that. Yeah. I am very curious how much that share of time will account for percentage-wise in the totality of Earth's existence in this state.
Yeah. So it will. Reading can be a really restful, beautiful thing, and it doesn't have to be some sort of intimidating whatever. Just read something you like, man. I mean, I think that's where it starts, is that you read something that you like, a book that piques your interest, and it's also the writer's responsibility to make you interested in it. It is not your responsibility to care. So if you're reading a book, you get 2 chapters in and you go, I don't care about this. That's his fault. Don't read the book. Put it down. Go find another book.
To a degree, I would, as a caveat to that, if you do not read and have never read, it may take time for you to develop the proper palate to understand and love a good story. I'm wondering if anyone out there is raised strictly on, if you're a Generation Z person and your parents didn't read to you growing up, you didn't read anything more than was required in school, you may not have a good idea of a good story because everything is in such short form and you might get bored. So at least be patient with it. I'd say, get a book that's well recommended. Pick one of the ones that we've recommended to you here. What? Is that temp too high?
Yep. Temperature's too high. All right. Let's just rock the, we can just, what time are we at?
1:10.
All right. We'll just wrap it up.
Okay. Anyway, if you've been raised in a way that you actually don't understand what a good story is, be a little patient with the books and don't write them off just because it's too high level. I could see somebody getting overwhelmed with a well-written or detailed book and not grasping it because it's like trying to choose steak when you've been on a milk diet.
Yeah. Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But yes, if you pick up a book that you have no idea what the reputation of it is, and you are a good reader and you're familiar with good stories, it's the writer's responsibility to grab you.
I would say here's the thing I would push back on that just a smidge is that, like, there are books that I know are fantastic books that I would recommend to anybody to read, but like Gene Wolfe's book, like the Book of the New Sun series. If you're not a reader, if you haven't read before, don't even try. It's impenetrable. That series is so dense and so strange and convoluted that it's
Dune is very dense.
Yeah,
well.
Dune's another one that it's like I could definitely
that should not be your first novel.
Yeah, I can definitely.
You might put off sci-fi or novels because you're like, why are they going into so much detail on these?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, but I would say is keep it lowbrow. I guess is what I'm kind of trying to say is that if you are not
start off
reader,
basic.
Yeah, start off with a graphic novel.
The Star Wars novels,
Star Wars novels,
the Halo series,
stuff
like that.
Yeah, do the Halo series because if you're a Gen Z guy, you know what Halo is already.
And same with Star Wars. Like, who doesn't know what Star Wars is?
Right. Yeah. I would even say, like, trying to read Lord of the Rings off the rip. No, you're not. It's so slow and so gentle, and there are large sweeping parts of the story that are just
descriptive.
Yeah, just like and then they're walking in the grass and it's whatever, and the plot doesn't really necessarily move like super quickly. But I think that's
phenomenal writing,
right?
But
and
maybe
you will like it, eventually. But it's going to take time.
Don't write off books because you tried something too big right off the cuff.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. So guys, listen, our camera just went down, so we'll call it here. We're at 1:10 anyways. Thank you for joining us. Just be cautious about leisure, and just don't assume that because it's fun, it's restful. Make sure that as you're trying to find rest, you're doing something that is also fun. Understand in yourself what is required. In the same way that I need an objective, I need something that's going to matter in the real world. You may not. You may have some other thing that makes something fun. But it doesn't matter. Just make sure that your thing you're attempting to do, you genuinely, sincerely think is fun. And don't get caught in this modern lie that children are work. They are work, but they're
not toil.
They're not toil. They certainly are not.
Work
toil.
is good. God created us to work.
Yeah.
And if you're not working, you will be joyless and miserable.
But children are not this. Yeah, they're not toil, and they're not this endless stream of responsibilities and things you must do and whatever. There are parts of having kids that are work and that you have to have deep levels of responsibility for, and your life will change. But
absolutely,
you will love every second of that change, and the work you have to do will feel completely worth it. And then you will also get these moments with raccoons and diamonds and these phenomenal moments to read books that you've just started reading and you love it, and it's a little book for little readers, and so you can read it to your kids and they'll understand. Your children can be not just a phenomenal source of rest, but that your children can be the source of rest in your life. If you are not so cynical and resentful, that you can't allow that to happen. So that is that's the message for today, is please get some rest, and be willing to let go of whatever you have in mind, whatever beliefs you have around kids and what you ought to be doing, around reading, around holding yourself to some standard, around whatever. Be willing to let all that stuff go. Be willing to have humility. Be willing to just relax. Just be willing to relax. If you're not willing to relax, then you are going to be burnt out and crispy toasted by the time you're 28, and you're going to get fired from your job, and your wife is going to hate you, and you're going to act like a slimy little slug, and it's not going to be good.
Work hard, but don't burn yourself out. Yeah,
there's a head football coach, can't remember who it is. He's got one of my favorite quotes of all time, which is, "Fatigue makes a coward of us all." And that's 100% true. It doesn't matter how tough you are. It doesn't matter how resilient you are. You get tired, you're done. So you really need to engage in restful leisure in your life. As I would say,
rest is productive in the right amounts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You will be more productive in the long run.
Yeah. Rest as often as you can responsibly.
God rested.
The creator of the universe.
He was setting an example for us. So if you don't rest, you are trying to work harder than God.
Yeah, which is
stupid.
Is arrogant beyond all imagination.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
Don't work on Sunday.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. Yeah, please don't work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, please don't work on Sunday if you can avoid it. I mean, obviously there are people that have.
No, and I had some schedules. It's unavoidable, but at least the point is make time for rest.
Yeah, make time for rest.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah,
not being a strict Sabbatarian there. Just make time for rest, y'all.
Yeah. All right, guys. We love you. We are praying for you. Please find a young lady, take her to church, and do well with the young lady.
Well, you should marry her.
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
You left out marrying.
Now you guys see how rested I am. I'm like not even
just
tuned
chill.
Into what I'm saying.
Do.
Guys, let's redo that one. Guys, find a young lady, marry her,
and have some babies.
Take those babies camping, take them to church, catechize them, raise them in the fear and admonition of the Lord. Guys, we love you. We are praying for you. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.